On the long road back to normal, some signs of improvement. From filling up, slightly less a hassle, to relief pouring into a great American city, living the great American nightmare.
You're going to tell me the richest country in the world cannot get enough buses to clear out one city in a week's time? We can get enough buses here to clear out this city in a week's time. Get out of here. Come on now.
Though thousands still desperate for help. In Bayou Battery, an act of simple goodness.
Everyone is so grateful. I think that's the hardest thing is you have people that have nothing and they're just thanking you from the bottom of your heart.
And one final sign tonight that, at least in parts of the Gulf South, there is some semblance of life as we know it.
You're watching Fox 10 News at 9 p.m.
Put those weapons down, damn it! Swing them! Put that weapon down on your back. The deliberate boom.
Cheers for the man in charge of the relief effort. In New Orleans, Lieutenant General Russell Honore. Honore spent the day waving helicopters in himself and going street to street, assessing needs.
Hi, everyone. I'm Renee Dials.
And I'm John Snell. Thanks for choosing Fox 10 News at 9.
And we are welcoming John here with us. He is visiting us from Fox 8 News in New Orleans.
10-2, as we joked earlier. We appreciate our sister station's help in everything you're doing for us as we relocate and try to cover this incredible story all along the Gulf Coast and in New Orleans. And the sense from people on the ground today was that finally lots of problems, but finally this was the day where in New Orleans and maybe even in some other places, not everywhere, we sort of turned the corner and the relief effort was kind of kicking in. It has
starting to see something.
Starting to pick up steam tonight.
And that's good. Thousands of Hurricane Katrina victims were taken to salvation today. Only pockets of stragglers remain in the streets around New Orleans Convention Center tonight, and paramedics have begun carting away the dead. Nearly 25,000 survivors were bused and airlifted to shelters or hospitals.
And the Superdome is empty. Finally, the last 300 refugees climbed aboard buses tonight. They leave behind a darkened and stinking arena covered in trash and in feces. Those still left in the city are getting supplies from the air. In New Orleans alone, emergency crews have delivered or dropped in almost 7 million liters of water. As the need for charitable contributions grows, some in the Mobile area want to do more than just send in a check, too.
Fox 10 News reporter Steve Cates takes a look at one such businessman who feels the need to do something, however small.
You want to meet us at the bank in Bayou Battery?
On Saturdays, Jeff Atherton would normally be preparing his restaurant for business. But after hearing of Katrina's devastation, he decided to load up the company truck with water and ice and head for Bayou Battery.
We kind of tend to get caught up in our own problems and situations here in Mobile and kind of forget there's people out there that have things worse than we do. So, I came up with the idea yesterday and figured we got an ice machine making all the ice in the world. We might as well bring it down.
And after a 45-minute drive, Atherton and a few volunteers arrive. Jeff and his colleague here didn't know what to expect when they came out here to Bayou Battery. They didn't have any time to put up signs. They just wanted to come out and help the community. So now their biggest concern is, after all this effort, will the people actually show up to get the help they need? They didn't have to wait long to find out.
You don't put this inside so it doesn't melt in the back of the bed?
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
I've got 4 babies at home. I've got a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
Atherton and his crew of volunteers brought plenty of water and ice. But they also brought powdered baby formula. It's something Anna Young knows her sister back home is in dire need of.
Hey, I'm hoping things get better.
What's that walking with you over there?
I mean, we work together, everything will get better.
Mary Jo Knight came all the way from Columbia, South Carolina to lend a hand.
It's terrible. I've never seen anything like this. We're far away from the coast and watching it on TV, and seeing it doesn't do any sort of justice to what's really going on.
At an age when little girls should be playing with their dolls and friends, 7-year-old Olivia is hoping for something so basic to you and me.
I hope the house will be fine to have all lights and all the thing.
After a little more than a couple of hours, they've given out all they brought. Jeff and his group of volunteers should feel good.
It's hard to feel good. We wanted to do something nice, but I almost feel worse now than I did before we came down here because we can't do enough.
In Biola Battery, Steve Cates, Fox 10 News.
Donations go out as fast as they come in. Photojournalist Jeff Levine gives us a feel of the pace at a spot in Biola Battery that's helping thousands of people a day.
We'll get your toilet paper in the box here, okay, ma'am? Going straight, come on!
We have had 3 truckloads of food come in this morning. We've had many more volunteers that are able to get the supplies together and get them out more quickly, and everything's moving faster, so the word's getting out.
Hey guys, we're good.
A lot of traffic trying to get everybody in to get these supplies.
Are you wanting baby stuff?
We're helping over 3,000 a day at this point right now, and probably double that today so far is what it looks like.
Are they, you got any more? I got a whole bunch on this side. 10 for.
It's important. We really need it. After a bad hurricane like this, we need it.
We have boxed groceries, baby supplies, and water.
Family, okay. We have over 100 people here working right now at this facility, but we need them. We're serving all of South Mobile County right now from this facility.
They should be safe.
We need more people here to help box up food and groceries, offload trucks.
Thank you.
We're trying to document how many people we're serving so FEMA will be able to replenish supplies for us as soon as possible. Roll through and they can be on their way. Please be patient, have their trunks open, be ready to move along, just be ready to sign the sheets, do what we ask them to do, and we'll move as fast as possible.
Now, supply distribution will be a little delayed at the Biola Battery Community Center tomorrow. Instead of 8 a.m., organizers say they won't get started until about 10:30. Now, here's a number you can call if you'd like to donate supplies or help distribute them in Biola Battery. Call Councilman Henry Barnes at 463-2674. That's 463-2674. Councilman Barnes says his phone may be busy, so just keep trying. Much needed food, water, and ice will once again be available in Mobile County tomorrow. From 8 to 3 tomorrow, you can stock up at the following locations. At 7 a.m., beginning at 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., the Mobile Civic Center, Saraland Kmart, Alma Bryant High School, Pritchard Stadium, Mount Vernon Community Park, McDavid Jones Elementary, Mobile Greyhound Park, Dauphin Island City Hall, Mary G. Montgomery, Alabama Port Volunteer Fire Department, Park Forest Plaza, and Vigoro Marketplace, and also at the Grand Bay Community Center.
We just need to get through the weekend, and if everyone will just not drive unless they have to, then I think we'll make it fine.
Alabama Governor Bob Riley talking about the serious gas shortage in Mobile and Baldwin counties. If you were around town today, you probably noticed things getting better, if only slightly better. The lines are still long, but more and more gas stations are finally getting their pumps replenished.
And that's good news. Now, you don't realize how much you count on it until it's gone, the internet. That's why one local business is offering free web access to hurricane evacuees and anyone still left in the dark by Katrina. Odyssey Networking in Mobile is opening its doors to the public tomorrow and Monday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a good chance for you to register for FEMA assistance and check online lists for missing loved ones. Odyssey Networking is located at 5909 Airport Boulevard. After turning away some evacuees this week, the city of Daphne has had a change of heart. The city is now making preparations to open a shelter for 300 people on Monday. Today, volunteers started collecting donations and supplies. A shelter at the Nicholson Center was closed Friday after some neighbors complained. City Councilman John Lake says the new shelter will be located in the Daphne Civic Center.
We looked at some other places, and we feel that the Civic Center, what we have right now, is got the facilities. It's got the bathroom facilities. It has the kitchen facilities, which is something that some of the other places in Daphne didn't have, for long-term needs. And that's what we were looking at, is long-term solutions, not short-term, where people would be able to have some stability and some consistency in their families, for their families.
Donations for the shelter can be dropped off at the old Eckert's building at the intersection of Highway 98 and 64.
In Mobile, mounds and mounds of debris line the streets tonight, but did you know that there is a right way and a wrong way to pile it? We'll tell you all about that when Fox 10 News returns. And later,
the boat rumbles, you hear the wind.
Katrina rolled in. One family down in the bayou decided 80 feet of solid steel shrimp boat looked a lot safer than a small wooden house.
Why do people trust Fox 10 News?
I watch Fox 10 because they always have the most up-to-date weather information.
I watch Fox 10 News because I think they're very reliable and they provide valuable information.
I watch Fox 10 News because it's reliable and it's very cool.
We trust Fox 10 News.
You can depend on Fox 10 News.
When you want to know about the weather on the Gulf Coast.
John Ed Thompson here looking at these streams of rain coming onshore all the way to Pensacola.
Turn to Fox 10 News Storm Tracker. You're watching Fox 10 News at 9 p.m.
Most of you have a lot of hurricane debris, and I'm sure you're anxious to toss it to the curb.
But there is a right way and a wrong way to dispose of it. Fox 10 News reporter Erica Fox explains.
If you want your debris removed, you've got to do it a certain way. Now, this is a classic example of what not to do. You don't want to heap all of your debris together in one big pile. You actually want to break it down into specific categories, okay? Category 1 is the vegetative items. That includes things like leaves and sticks and branches and trees. Category 2 is all your construction debris. That includes things like plywood and shingles off of your house. Now, the third category is all of your household goods, and that includes things like this fan or refrigerators or microwaves or any electronics that you may be getting rid of. You also want to keep in mind that you don't want to block anybody's driveway when you put this out, and you also don't want to block anybody's mailbox or any drains that are in the street. Also, any debris that you put out has to be hurricane related. Don't just put your couch out because you're tired of the pattern. It all has to be hurricane related. Now, if you keep these simple guidelines in mind, hurricane debris removal will go a lot more smoothly. That's the latest from Mobile. I'm Erica Fox for Fox 10 News.
One other point, remember to put debris on public curbs only. Also make sure you don't block roadways.
Then I'll be hurt.
Well, imagine riding out Hurricane Katrina on the water. Up next, you'll meet one family that did just that.
Well, high temperatures today topped off in the lower 90s across most of the area. Right now, we're a little bit more comfortable at 75 in Evergreen, 82 in Pensacola, 82 in Mobile, and 84 degrees at Brookley Field. Pensacola Naval Air Station checking in at 77. Looking at the wide view of the Fox 10 News Storm Tracker, we can obviously see dry conditions across the Gulf Coast, which is certainly good news. We'll continue to dry out over the next couple of days, and our humidity levels will be low as well. A little bit of a trough of low pressure across the state of Florida, but that should remain there for at least another day or so before giving us a slight chance for rain on Monday. Looking at the tropics, we are tracking Tropical Storm Maria at 70 miles per hour. She's going to track on off to the north and then northeast, and we don't need to worry about her, thankfully. Here's a look at that forecast for tonight. It'll be pretty low humidity tonight. Clear skies, inland temperature 66 degrees, coastal areas around 75. And for tomorrow, dry and pleasant conditions, inland temperatures 92, coastal areas around 90. A northeast wind tomorrow at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So overall, a fairly comfortable day and maybe a degree or two cooler tomorrow afternoon. Looking at the next 7 days, we'll be expecting temperatures into the upper 80s as we head into the daytime hours on Monday. Maybe an isolated shower. We may also see an isolated shower as we head through the rest of the week, but our rain chances very, very slim as we head through midweek. High temperatures into the upper 80s right through Wednesday, Thursday, and right around Saturday we'll see temperatures in the upper 80s as well. But look at those overnight lows. Hey, I'll take them.
Yes, like those lows.
It's a nice little break. We need a
yes,
break.
We do, all of us. Your everyday bad weather would make most people think twice about setting foot on a boat.
But Craig Smith has the story of a woman who decided that a boat was the best place to survive Hurricane Katrina.
We watched the water come in, and the sad thing for me was some of the houses that it covered, I knew the people, and I knew when it covered their house, I knew we didn't have anything.
As Evelyn Nelson watched her world wash away, she did it from the last place some people would want to be in a hurricane. She was on a boat, but a stout, solid, steel shrimp boat, almost 80 feet long.
Water ain't gonna hurt a boat. It's built for it.
She's gonna float. The water goes up, you're gonna float up. The water goes down, you're gonna go down.
But they had to trust more than the boat. They had to trust their mooring lines and the trees they tied them to. Hurricane Katrina found the shrimpers who had less skill or less luck. Evelyn's brother was with her, along with her husband, mother, father, aunts, uncles, and nephews, 13 people in all. Evelyn's husband and brother were so worried about the glass blowing in, they sent just about everyone else to the lower decks. From here in the wheelhouse, they monitored things as the boat rose higher and higher and higher until finally it was level with the treetops.
It was rising, it would rise and just rise. And it kept on and just kept it coming, and I was saying, go out, go out.
When the water went down, she saw the neighborhood that's home to most of her family. Homes are ripped, soaked, filled with the stench she calls the smell of hopelessness.
This is where my dad, my mother, and lived, and we had all our gatherings, and this is what we have left.
But she's not really without hope. She's grateful the boat owner is letting her and her husband live on the boat. And she hopes Alabamians hold on to the faith and the strength they'll need to bounce back from Katrina.
You've got to pull together. We have to. That's what we're doing.
In Biola Battery, Craig Smith, Fox 10 News.
Incredible story, huh?
When you look at all the other boats that weren't tied,
yes.
You think of all the trees that went down, these big,
yes.
huge oaks, but they made it.
They did. 5 days after Katrina, the world of sports is moving forward.
Auburn and Bama both kicking off their regular seasons tonight. Those other Tigers that many in your audience care about tonight postponed. But Eric Richie's got the highlights of who did play up next.
The last time that the Auburn Tigers played a game, they were putting closure to a perfect 13-0 season. They were doing so in the Superdome. For both, it's time for a new beginning with significantly different looks. Auburn, a completely different backfield, opening up the season tonight, hosting Georgia Tech. But before Brandon Cox and company could even take the field against Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets would score. Watch the beautiful concentration from Calvin Jackson. David Irons gets burned. Georgia Tech with the touchdown. It's currently 10-7 late in the second quarter. More on this game for you tomorrow night. Big-time expectations for Alabama this season as well. The Crimson Tide also opening up the season at home tonight as year 3 of the Mike Shula era officially kicked off in Tuscaloosa against Middle Tennessee State. And at least 300 of the fans at Bryant-Denny Stadium tonight were Katrina refugees. Bama fans have been dropping off tickets at the Tuscaloosa Red Cross shelter the past few days. No surprise, they saw the Bama's defense striking first. Check out defensive end Mark Anderson with the pressure, and that, my friends, is a sack. Bama with a 9-7 lead at the half. Third quarter, the Tide began to roll. Tyrone Prothro latches on to the Brody Croyle 13-yard pass for the touch. Bama led 16-7. Later, it was a healthy Tim Castile barreling home with his second point-blank touchdown of the game, and the Crimson Tide starts off the season in the win column, beating Middle Tennessee State 26-7. Mobile's Rick Crawford is right in the middle of the NASCAR Craftsman truck season, but after watching the horrific images coming out of the Gulf Coast in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, he was moved to act. Crawford pulled up in the Circle Bar Racing Team hauler at the Red Cross in downtown Mobile this morning. Inside, well, not his racetracks, but 20,000 pounds of water, some 500 cases unloaded by area volunteers to be distributed throughout the Gulf Coast.
But the message we're trying to send is don't wait around. Let's help these human beings and Americans survive this tragedy they're in, and let's help right now.
Meanwhile, a line of cars outside of Mobile International Speedway today, a place where Rick used to race, all waiting to donate to the people of Pascagoula, a large fan and driver base for MIS. Among the items being loaded, how about some diapers, food and water, even children donating their toys. There were clothes and even furniture for Hurricane Katrina victims.
You know, a lot of our people, the fans and spectators and other people also that come that supported us at the track for years are in dire need. So the racers just trying to come together to help.
Nice move, Bubba Gale and company. Others around the sporting world helping victims of Katrina. The Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli, who are, of course, from New Orleans, arrived in Baton Rouge today with a chartered plane full of supplies from baby formula, diapers, water, and Gatorade. The Mannings say they are part of the recovery effort for the long haul. I promise video of you this tomorrow, if I can get it. Joe Horn stopped in the Houston Astrodome today for 3 hours. Definitely uplifted the spirits of the people, played with the little children. The ladies, as usual, Joe Horn shrieking, just wanted to get a piece of Joe to say hello to him. And he said he promised to do so. He said you could throw a lot of money at these people right now, but they needed love, firsthand love, and he was there to show their support.
Yeah, and they played the preseason game and showed that in the Astrodome the other day. You know, that can't replace things lost and what people have gone through, but little pieces of life coming back.
And you know Joe, is his personality, he lights up a room, and that was a great move. If we get video, I'll show it to you tomorrow.
All right, we'll be right back.
We tracked Hurricane Katrina until it was no longer a threat to our area.
Knowing that I'm still alive, that's basically what I'm happy about.
Fox 10 News Storm Tracker.